have joining me in the studio now, Dayo Olomuwagun, public affairs analyst. Thank you very much for finding time to come on the news.
It's always a fire.
All right, so the review of the national minimum wage comes with huge controversies. Recall that in 2011, when the amount was reviewed to 18,000 naira, it happened 2 years after, a tripartite committee was inaugurated by the then Secretary to the Government of the Federation under late President Musa Yaradua. And fast forward to 2018, of course, it's been due since 2016, but this tripartite committee was inaugurated November last year. And here we are 2 years after, still talking about it. What makes this process so cumbersome in this part of the world?
I think in one word, for me, what makes it so cumbersome is it lacks the will to execute whatever.
On whose parts now?
If I'm going to be fair, I guess on the government. Whether it's the federal government or the state government, the federal government has shown some signs that, oh, we're ready to pay 30,000. But clearly the state is saying we will go bankrupt.
And that is where you begin to wonder that there was a tripartite committee that sat for a whole year, which had governors represented, that came up with an agreement in form of a document. How come after all of these, negotiations, we are still back to square one?
You see, again, it's sad that we are back to with the situation we are in Nigeria. Again, it's the will, the lack of the will on the part of the governors to pay the minimum wage. And the labor in this country has been very fair with us, has been very magnanimous enough. We were at the peak at the heat of where they're about going on strike, and they pay so much sacrifice to say, let's stop the strike for now, because of the signal they were getting from the federal government, and everybody felt we passed this junction. Now, bringing them back, and some quarters are saying we cannot pay. And the labor, they are not asking for anything so significant. All we are just asking is just bring us back to where you met us in 2015. Somebody collecting 18,000 in 2015, as at when the exchange rate was about 197, that's about $91. With your 30,000, the best you are giving the person is $98.
For governors, it's not going to be that easy. They are saying, they have given conditions now. They're saying that we're going to pay 30,000 naira if only the federal allocation is going to be increased. And of course, labor should get ready for a cut down in their size as regards the civil service and all of that. How do you see all of these work together? Labor wants 30,000, but governors are saying that, you know what, we have to sack some people to make that happen.
Okay, you see, it shows the callousness of the kind of leaders we have around us here. You sack people because they are demanding for an increase in their wage. And the question is, how many people has most of this government employed? In the last 3 years, in the last 4 years, in the last 8 years, how many people who have actually been employed into the civil service in those states? For example, I know my state, and I can tell you categorically that nothing has happened in those states. Go to their schools, no qualified teacher is teaching anybody there. I mean, so when they're talking about we will not increase minimum, we will not do the minimum wage, except we have sacked some people. How can you even say that? And you say you will go broke, and I'm asking what will make you broke? You see, again, it's not about that we don't have the resources. It's about some people cornering all these resources and putting it in their pocket. Recently, we saw videos flying around, somebody collecting dollars and putting in the pocket. Those are the money that should be going to the civil service. Those are the money you want to use to pay the 30,000 minimum wage. Labor, they are not asking for it. You see,
the accused person in that
video, go
video
to your state and see the project going on.
Has taken, the publisher to court and all of that. But I'm concerned about the capacity of states to pay, because 2011, when the wage was reviewed to 18,000, this is 2018, some states still are owing salaries. Are we concerned about the capacity of the states to make this happen?
So in fairness, you see, definitely you want to be concerned about the capacity to pay. But again, the state should show us the seriousness. The state should show us what they are doing with the resources on hand. I'll just give you a clear example.
That's right.
In the last 10 years in my state, for example, I'm not sure if one teacher has been recruited into the public service, into the schools. And a lot of thousands of teachers have retired over this period. The money you are using to pay them those days, where is that money? So for me, while you are considering the ability of the state to pay, which is fine, but it's the callousness of this leader that is baffling us. Now you are saying you don't have you need to sack people. The readiness, it looks like the readiness is not even there.
It's all right.
And we see what you do with the money. You do a contract that maybe is just worth 1 billion. Then we hear it's 20 billion.
I'm afraid we might just have to wrap it there. Public affairs analyst Dayo Olomuwagun, thank you very much for joining us on the news.